when I was an innocent child. I lived in my father's house, enjoying the love of all who reared me. Then my parents sent me from our eastern home, with enough goods for a long trip. They burdened me with treasure light enough to bear alone, gold from ancient hills, silver plate and goblets, emeralds from India and agates from Kosa. But they stripped me of my robe of glory. This they'd woven from generous love, with a jewel-studded purple cloak that fitted well. They drew up a deed, impressing it on my heart and memory. Go down to Egypt, fetch that one pearl from the ocean bed kept by a fierce serpent. Then you can wear your robe again, your precious cloak, and with your brother inherit our kingdom. I left with 2 friends, for the path was dangerous and I was young. I passed through Meshan and their greedy merchants. I then came to Babel and entered seedy Sarberg. I'd arrived in Egypt. My friends left. I went close to the serpent. I stayed at an inn until he fell asleep, and I could seize the precious pearl. Since I was 1 and stayed with myself, I was unrecognized by my fellow guests, but I saw one youth like myself, a son of a king, an initiated one. He introduced himself and he became my friend, someone in whom I could confide. He warned me about the Egyptians and making friends with the impure. But I had to wear clothes like theirs, or they might suspect I was a stranger who planned to steal the pearl. Yet they suspected I wasn't one of them, and slyly bedeviled me, giving me strong drink and spiced meats. I soon forgot I was the king's son, and slaved for their pharaoh. I even forgot the pearl. After their heavy food and rich drink, I fell into a deep sleep. My parents heard all about what had happened, and they were very, very sad. It was announced in our kingdom that all must return. The kings of Parthia and the eastern nobles decided I must not stay in Egypt. They sent me a letter. From your father, the King of Kings, your mother, the Eastern Queen, your brother, next in line, all send greetings. Awake from sleep. Remember, you're the son of a great king. See to whom you are enslaved. Recall the precious pearl and why you left for Egypt, and your robe of glory and your purple cloak, so you can wear them again, and in your name be written in the hero's book, and with your brother inherit our kingdom. This letter from the king was sealed by his right hand and contained a message warning against the evil folk of Babel and Sarberg. It flew before me, carried by an eagle, king of all birds. It landed beside me, and the bird began to sing. The golden tone of his song woke me up. I held and stroked him, broke the seal and read. Then I remembered I was the son of a great king, and that my pure soul yearned and craved for its own likeness. I recalled the priceless pearl for which I had gone down into the land of Egypt. I went to the serpent and charmed him to sleep, constantly repeating again and again my father's name and that of my brother next in line and my mother, Queen of the East. I seized the precious pearl and fled quickly to return to my beloved father. I threw off the filthy Egyptian smock, leaving it behind, recollecting myself. I went east to come home. This clarion letter lit my path, and by its clarity encouraged me, and by its love led me on. I remembered my robe and purple cloak, which I had left in my parents' house, and the treasures they'd given me. When I pictured the robe in its full glory, it suddenly seemed to be a reflection of my real self. I saw my own self in this clear mirror, knowing the seer and the seen were not two, but one. The King of Kings was imaged there, shimmering all over as the true gnosis. I saw he was poised to sing, and I heard the murmur of his song. I am that power which acted in the acts of he who was reared in his father's house. I noted my strength grew according to my efforts. With kingly grace he poured love on me. With heraldic hands hastened me to drink. My love raced to meet him, I expanded. Cladding myself with his rainbow hues, I drew his royal cloak over my whole self. Well-robed, I entered the pearly gate of protestation and adoration. I bowed my head, kneeled and worshipped in my Father's presence. His will I obeyed in response to the fulfillment of his promise. He received me with open arms and holy joy. I was with him in his kingdom. The seraphim praised him with loud song. Hallelujah. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. He had honored his covenant, that I would come to his court, the King of Kings. For I had found that pearl beyond price, and would be with him eternally.